there are more students, elementary school students, and they started playing Lego from 3 years old. Yeah, it's too early, I think. Yeah, but yeah, for me it was quite difficult to teach. Yeah, but I think for them they don't understand quite a lot, but they think it's quite. Maybe I think Go is one kind of the communications with other. For example, from white sides, I want to make territory here, and from black, yeah, I want to make here. And in response to this, no, I want to reduce the territory, not allow this. Okay, so I will make here. Okay, from black side, okay, I will go on the top side. If white defense here, maybe black will. This is quite big territory, so I don't, from white side, I don't want you to put here. So maybe instead of this side, the white maybe will choose here or here. So it's one kind of a communication with black and white. So I think it's a good opportunity to learn communication good along well with others for children. So in that point, I teach Ego to children, but it's quite difficult to force students to understand. Maybe during the class there are some fighting that happens. Yeah, so it's quite difficult. So, but it's quite a good opportunity for them. Yeah, I want to emphasize the rule or that the mottos are important thing in my Go School. Maybe the manner is quite important to rather than winning the games. Yeah, for example, some children playing or talking in a loud voice. At that time, we teachers tell you should not do that. Maybe this kind of manner is quite important. Yeah. So yeah, today, at first, for Q class, I explain Ego as a money picking up money games like this. In this territory, there are so many monies. Some about, for example, $100, 100 pounds, and others £1 or 50 pounds, 1 to 20 pounds, and we put in turns. So, for example, it's 100 pounds, and 100 pounds, 100. It's quite even, but sometimes I think it's quite even, but sometimes black, for example, put here. I think it's 20 pounds, like 20 pounds. And white choose 100 pounds. At that time, the situation will change. Before that, the game is quite even. But after that, the good situation for white. So it's quite easy to, it's quite important to decide which one is the most biggest ones. Yeah. So like picking games. For example, especially for Q players, maybe they focus on one place. So for example, approach moving here and defense. For example, whites leave this situation and go to another place, but black concentrate on one place. I think it is about 1 pound. So at that time, the situation will change quickly. So it's quite easy. So maybe first we should learn which is 100 pounds, which is 1 pound. Yeah, and at that time, I think one of the biggest way of thinking is we should first look at which area is wide or large. For example, this is from the game from Q class. 1, 2, 3. It's quite even, not problem. And 5, 6. Next, 7, 4 graph, where we should put. I think this place is quite small, about 10 pounds. Yeah, because too close with each other. This area is so strong. Maybe white cannot live in this area. So the meaning of this move is just make 4 territories. It's not big. So I think maybe there are 2 or 3 options. First, it is one of the largest place. The meaning is to defend this area. The importantly, it's not make this territory because white can easily invade here. So it's one kind of help for fighting. For example, if white come here, it helps to attack in this case compared to this case. So and also this point is largest ones. So we should think about this one or this one, which is always better. And also, when we decide which one is better, we have to imagine the map. For example, in black perspectives, the meaning is in the future, want to make that kind of territory. So it's quite important. For example, if black want to make this area, make this territory, it's not quite different meaning. Also, I think it's a good option, but different meaning. At that point, the next white here, white want to make territory in these lines. So it's quite important. And also, this point is also good. In response to this move, white don't want to make this territory, so it invades like this. But 8, next one is here. So white want to make on this territory is here at first phase. So in response to this hand, this white, black wants to invade this area. So it's quite even. It's one kind of conversations. But the next one, white put here, I think it's quite small. Because firstly, we have to find which one is much wider. In that point, most widest place is here. So we should prefer this place. And also, if white can attack these black ones, it's a good options. But it's quite for black. It's quite easy to make territory and to be stronger. So it's not good. Next one, black to here. So it's one kind of conversations, and we should choose the wider place at first. And also, of course, at the first phase or opening games, the game didn't finish at all. But it's quite basic. Basic theory is if it's based on the basic theory, maybe we can make good situations, not bad situations. So I think this the first phase is quite easy and important. Yeah, so worth learning. One, two. It's quite even. In this situation, as I said, the black has maybe two options: defense or invade here. Maybe on this time I choose here. So white has two options. First, to make territory here. I think it's a good option, like this. It's Kosumi. This is it's so close, but it's quite strong, so good. And maybe extension, hierarchy. In this situation, we have to follow the two jump extensions. The three is quite right, so not good because quite easily invade this. So the two black cut each other, and it's quite difficult or possible, not impossible to connect with each other. So maybe the next, so maybe the two jump is quite basic. It's I think it's quite even, but next one, we should think which area is the widest one. So I think this area is quite wide, so we should put here. It's quite important. Not this is about 5 pounds, so it's quite small. So we should change to another place to make videos. Yeah. And next white, we also again think about which place is the widest. I think it's so small, about 20 pounds, because there are two reasons. First, it's not big, just 4, and also there are no worry about this area because it's quite strong. For example, if black invades here, maybe this area is not so strong, so like this. It's quite difficult to escape from here. So I don't recommend here. And also, we should not get close to strong power areas. It's quite strong. So in this point, it's not so important variable, profitables. And so I think this one is so widest place. So this approach is important, maybe best. So this what it means. White want to make territory on these lines. So it's have a variable meaning. And also, some people put here about black in black side. I think it's good, but I don't recommend to put here because if fighting happened here, maybe I think it is a white area, like white areas, so it's quite difficult to fight in the opposite areas because, for example, if or like jump each other, maybe black cannot capture this stone, this white, and also maybe black can escape until here, but there will be a big white areas. So maybe I don't recommend here. So like, つまり extension here. So I think it's quite even. This area and this area quite same. And next is black. So can approach from here. Maybe different here. And so black want to make in this territory. So it has a has one meaning. So it's good. Important. I think 2 points are important. One is to choose widest area, and second is not get close to strong points. It's a bit difficult, but based on 2 points, maybe again we should make the mindless map or strategy to which area I want to make. Maybe the best, I think one of the best way to win is 51 and 49. So it's one kind of conversation. I want to get 10, but I will give you 9. I want to get 20, I will give you 10. This kind of conversation is quite important. So everything black is quite impossible. Yeah. 4. Here is also very important. It's one of the widest points in this field. And also black want to make territory here. And also, I don't in this station. Actually, I don't recommend to put here. I think it's not bad, but sometimes this joseki maybe white can make the territory maybe around 8 or 10, but black can make the thick wall from here, and from this point the black should think how we use this wall. This is one kind of make strategies. I think, for example, it's not so strong, so first we should approach in this area. From the top, maybe press to the sides. To white, there are no way to attack to black sides. Also, white can make around about 10, but maybe from black side, the black can make territory around here. It's one kind of strategies. And also next one, which is the widest point. I think this area is quite wide, so maybe like this. Yeah, if white put here, this is maybe most popular solids. But it's quite difficult to make these territories because next one is white. Maybe like that. It's difficult to make white area, so it's not good for black sides. So I think black should put here. Like this. So maybe white can make about 20, but next with black and right here. So it will be possible to make that kind of big areas. So this is, it means making strategy or making map in your minds. So I think this kind of the one-way solid is quite important. So here like that is a good option. Like this, maybe the point is 2, I think. Basically, first we should choose the wide area, and second get close, should not get close to the strong power points. I think this 2 point is quite important to continue to the first phrase, and maybe these days AIs or new new kind of thinking, new way of thinking is quite important. Of course, not only in Japan but also in I think UK or China or Korea. But I think the basic is the quite same. So I think yeah, in Japan I always emphasize these 2 points. And also, lastly, making the strategy or map is quite important. Maybe I think it depends on the person. Maybe I like making territory. I'm not good at using that kind of wall. But yeah, it depends on the person. But making territory strategy is quite important. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for a very interesting lecture. I found it very informative.